Mr. Mayor, it's time.
I'd like to call this special meeting to order at 4 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Mayor Jose Grijalva,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Dania Acosta, Councilmember Melissa Rodriguez. Present. Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Here.
Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro,
Present.
Councilmember Richard Acosta,
Present.
City Manager Ana Ortigo,
Present.
City Attorney Dennis Fitzgibbons,
Present.
City Treasurer Alejandro Martinez.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the record, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Item 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do we have it? Thank you. Item 4, discussion decision to call for and conduct an executive session for item A under the authority of ARS 38-431.03, A3, 4, and 7 to consider its position, instruct its representatives, and obtain legal advice regarding the update on property sale of vacant land around the Douglas Municipal Airport. And also item B under the authority of ARS 38-431.03, A3, and 7 to consider its position, instruct its representatives, and obtain legal advice regarding the consideration of potential strategic real estate investment opportunities. May I have a motion to enter executive session.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Shelton,
I recommend we go into executive session.
is there a second? Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mr. Valdenegro. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rodriguez. Yes. Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton,
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, we enter executive session at 4:02 PM. Special meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mrs. Acosta. All in favor to adjourn executive session, or roll call? Right, or no adjournment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. We adjourn the special meeting at 4:50.
Righty tighty. I was scared. Screw. Is it?
I know, I'm thinking, down here, so it's still right, but you gotta be.
Yeah. I'm strict. That doing it, or untake.
Mayor, it's time.
I'd like to call the special meeting to order for the CDBG public hearing at 5 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Mayor Jose Grijalva,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Tania Acosta,
Present.
Councilmember Melissa Rodriguez. Present. Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Here.
Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro, Councilmember Richard Acosta,
Present.
City Manager Honor Urquijo,
Present.
City Attorney Dennis Fitzgibbons,
Present.
Treasurer Alejandro Martinez.
Here.
Item number 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do we have any? Item number 4, discussion decision on public hearing. Item A, the purpose of the public hearing is to allow public participation regarding the proposed activities to be undertaken in CDBG fiscal year 25 draft annual action plan. Ms. Gonzalez?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. The annual action plan for fiscal year 2025 for the city of Douglas has been prepared in response to a consolidated process developed by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, for the CDBG program. The allocation for the funding year is scheduled to be $183,562. The public was given 30 days to provide public review and comment on the proposed activities to be undertaken. And tonight is the final opportunity for them to do so.
Do we have anyone? Nobody online, nobody on the phone? Staff? If it's okay with council, we'll give it to 5:05.
Perfect.
Item number 5 on the agenda, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by, Councilmember Acosta. Do I have a second? Motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mr. Baldenegro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. We adjourn at 5:05 PM.
Mr. Mayor, it's time.
I'd like to call a special meeting for the budget public hearing to order at 5:15. Roll call, please.
Mayor Jose Grijalva,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Dania Acosta. Present. Councilmember Melissa Rodriguez. Councilmember Jose Montaño.
Here.
Councilmember Ray Shelton.
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro. Councilmember Richard Acosta.
Present.
City Manager Ana Urquijo. City Attorney Dennis Fitzgibbons.
Present.
City Treasurer Alejandro Martinez.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do we have it? Item number 4, discussion decision on the final budget adoption public hearing. Item A, the purpose of the public hearing is to allow public participation regarding the final budget adoption. Mr. Martinez.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, as you stated, this is the public's opportunity to provide input on before final adoption. This budget was made available at our public library through a public notice as well, which was published for 2 consecutive weeks as well, and in accordance to state law.
Thank you. Anyone from the audience? Anyone? I don't know if they're online. Any questions, comments on the budget? This is your time. If there's nobody, we'll give it, if it's okay to council to 5:25. I'll give it to 5 minutes from now, 5:21, if that's okay. Just the last one. Motion to adjourn.
Mayor, I
Mrs.
make a
Acosta.
motion to.
Do I have a second? A motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mrs. Rodriguez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. We adjourn at 5:21.
You know, I went to Western.
Mr. Mayor, it's time.
Call the special meeting to order for the final budget adoption at 5:30. Roll call, please.
Mayor Jose Grijalva,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Dania Acosta,
Present.
Councilmember Melissa Rodriguez. Present. Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Here.
Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro. Councilmember Victor Acosta,
Present.
City Manager Ana Urquijo,
Present.
City Attorney Dennis Fitzgibbons,
Present.
Treasurer Alejandro Martinez.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. We have anyone? Item 4, discussion decision on approvals on a resolution number 25-1672 or 25-1672. Yeah, I said it right. Resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, adopting the budget for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council and community members. In Arizona, municipal budgets require a public hearing before final adoption. This hearing was held today at 5:15 p.m. As a reminder, the final budget cannot exceed the tentatively adopted budget total, which was done on 6/11/2025. On June 30th, the Arizona Department of Revenue provided final state share revenue projections for sales tax and income tax, indicating a $8,145 reduction in revenue for the city. This small adjustment has been reflected in the general government contingency line item, and therefore the numbers approved during the tentative budget adoption remain the same. No other changes were made to that budget you approved on 6/11/2025.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 25-1672?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Acosta.
I move the mayor and council approve resolution number 25-1672.
Do I have a second?
second.
Motion by Mr. Acosta, second by Mr. Shelton. Any discussion?
Just have a comment. I wanna thank our city manager and staff and department, Mr. Martinez, for the hard work you guys put into this. I know you guys start early January working on this. I just wanna commend you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. And again, thank you to staff. You guys make us look good.
Yep.
With all these funding options and, you know, especially listening to the community on the need, so everything's appreciated. No other discussion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Rodriguez. Yes. Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton,
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Acosta.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion passes. Item number 5, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor,
Mrs.
Make a-
Acosta, do
motion to adjourn.
you have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mr. Montaño. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. We adjourn at 5:33 p.m.
Thank you.
Hello, hello, hello. Boom. Hello?
They'll start in about 5 minutes. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Oh, hey, good. I was wondering if it was 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
Well, there was an exec session at 4 o'clock. They've had several meetings, but the regular meeting starts in about 5 minutes, 4 minutes now.
Excellent. Okay, thanks a lot.
No problem.
Mr. Mayor, it's time.
I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor, if we can just go back to item number 2.
Oh, the pledge a little bit. I apologize. We had like 4 meetings today. And I got used to that routine. Item number 2, pledge of allegiance, and if we could stay standing by let's have the invocation by Mr. Shelton.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Mr. Shelton.
Our most loving and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the rain we got today. Dear Lord, just be with us as a city, that we could work together and complete many, many major endeavors and things that we've been working on for 10 years. Just be with the employees, let them do a great job as they've been doing, and we need to really promote our community. Now I'd like to recognize a number of grieving families in Texas. Just especially be with those parents that have lost their little girls. We all know that there's reasons why you let things happen. And through this, the community of around there will grow closer to you. We pray now that you would just lead and guide and direct our meeting today. And just thank you for your love and goodness. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Shelton, tell us about your meeting times when your congregation meets for Bible study and worship service.
Okay, I attend the First Baptist Church here in Douglas. It was established in May of 1912, and we have Sunday school at 9:30. 10:45, we have the regular service. And then during the week, we have a men's Bible study and a women's Bible study. And a number of other activities for the young people. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shelton. Item number 4, roll call, please.
Mayor Jose Grijalva,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Dania Acosta,
Present.
Councilmember Melissa Rodriguez. Present. Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Here.
Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro, Councilmember Richard Acosta,
Present.
City Manager Ana Urquijo, City Attorney Dennis Fitzgibbons,
Present.
City Treasurer Alejandro Martinez.
Here.
Item number 5, events update.
Hello from the Douglas Public Library. We are still in our summer reading program and we have 3 weeks left and lots of fun activities for the rest of the month. Mondays, we have our relaxing activities like arts, crafts, puzzles, board games, and more. And that is from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesdays, we have activities for kids at 2 p.m. We'll have experiments, some robots. We're going to learn how to save money. So lots of things to do. Wednesday, we have our movies at 2 p.m. with free popcorn and juice for kids and teens. We have story time on Thursday, and that is at 11 a.m. We sing, we dance, and we have playtime afterwards for the little ones. We also have activities on Thursday afternoons for kids, and that is at 2 p.m. We'll have more art activities. We'll make snacks at the end of the month, so don't miss out on those. We also have a very special event coming up on July 11th. This Friday, we have Wildman Phil and his reptile show. So he will bring reptiles for us to see and learn about, and that is at 5 p.m. this Friday. Next Friday, we have our summer paint night for adults, and you can register by visiting the library or by phone, and that is also at 5 p.m. All materials included. And at the end of the month, to celebrate the end of our summer reading program, on July 25th, we're going to have an ice cream party. Kids will make their own sundaes, and then they will get prizes for completing our program. So don't forget to bring your reading bingos so that you can get a prize, and also so you can be in the running for highest minutes read and get an even bigger prize if you win that. Adults can also turn in their summer bingos and get a prize and a book. We really hope to see you here for the rest of the month. We hope you finish out the summer with us here at the Douglas Public Library. Thank you.
Hey there, we've got some exciting events coming up that you won't want to miss. Here's a quick rundown of what's happening soon. First up, tomorrow is Rec on the Go for kids at Sunray Apartments. Bring the kids out for a fun-filled day of activities and free popsicles while supplies last. Next, get ready for summer night swimming at the H Street Pool every Friday starting July 11th from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Dive into the fun with family and friends. Then, don't forget our dive-in movie night on July 12th at the Aquatic Center. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the movie starts at 7. Grab your floaties and enjoy a movie. On July 26th, we got the Mundo 3v3 basketball tournament. Registration is free, but hurry, sign-ups close on July 18th. The winning team takes home $125, so don't miss your shot at glory. On August 1st, join us for a movie in the park at H Street Park featuring Little Rascals. It's a perfect night out with family and friends. Bring your blankets and snacks. And looking ahead, get ready for the Mexican Baseball Fiesta on October 1st. Tickets and flyers will be available soon. Check our Facebook page for all the details. For more information and to register, head to our Facebook page or give us a call. We can't wait to see you there.
Thank you.
Mayor, may I? Just one brief corrections on the updates for Rec on the Go. It was actually scheduled for today and had to be canceled due to rain.
Thank you. Item number 6, mayor and council member updates and or reports. Do we have any? Council,
Mayor?
Mrs. Acosta.
Not so much a report, just a statement I'd like to share. I just wanted to start out with, I wanted to thank all of those that either messaged through social media or directly to me or silently sent their prayers my way. I wanted to remind everybody about the importance of identifying and caring for mental health illnesses. Not everyone can understand how mental health can impact individuals, families, and friends. My support circle has been instrumental in my hospital stays and recovery. With my first hospital stay being to seek help for my mental health. And of course, luckily my support circle has grown due to that hospital stay, and I see that as a God blessing. My second hospital stay, I feel like I need to share due to the fact that I was in the Phoenix area on city business. Which staff helped me present a resolution proposal to the Arizona League of Cities, which will then go to their resolutions committee in August. And if they pass it, effort to get, this resolution onto the Arizona legislature as a law, hopefully in the future. And I hope to have a presentation in the future, just to share with everybody on that work. I just wanted to add that at this hospital stay, I was scheduled to go to the AMC convention as well on city business. But then I was hospitalized in ICU due to septic shock. So I would just like to, again, give very special thanks to my daughter who, during her trials and tribulations as a teenager, taught me that it's okay to ask for help. And baby girl, if you are listening, you are my hero. And again, thank you everybody for your support. I'm getting back to myself and my commitment to my community as Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you. Much love.
Bit on the Metal Fest because you weren't.
Oh, geez, yeah. So first shot at Metal Fest. I know that it's a genre that's not for everybody, but I did receive a lot of good feedback from people who enjoy that kind of music and just having everybody out there. I think we learned a lot about starting an event at noon in June is probably not a good idea, but as soon as the sun went down, people came out and we had a very good time. So we're looking at November dates to have another iteration of this. And I have been in contact with one of our Douglas natives, Jose Mangan, who is a DJ on Octane radio station, Sirius XM. So he's excited to see what we can work on together and try to, you know, bring stuff to Douglas and put us on the map and also probably help with his own charities. But it would be a true honor to have him here in Douglas because he has truly made a very good name and life for himself. And I think we should be appreciative of, you know, those community members that go out and do wonderful things in the world. So thank you, everybody. And that's all I have.
Mrs. Rodriguez.
Thank the city staff for the 4th of July. This past weekend, when I was in Boston, I don't think you guys see that people at a parade or even a park. So thank you all, staff.
Anyone else?
Mayor,
Mr. Valdenegro.
I'd like to share a letter from Harry Gregory to the town. It's one of the wishes for the fund. It was so glad to say it was better to read it. And then actually. Very much. Awareness of represents. Yes.
Dear City of Douglas Council, the Last Supper Museum America Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit located in Douglas, Arizona, respectfully submits a gift grant request to the City of Douglas for funding to support our mission of preserving cultural heritage, fostering arts education, and serving our rural community. We seek $10,000 to enhance our community programs and facility upgrades with project implementation beginning July 11th, 2025. Community impact. Douglas, a rural town of approximately 16,000 residents, faces economic challenges and limited access to cultural opportunities. Our programs address these needs by providing free arts education supplies, supporting local artists, and preserving cultural heritage. The museum uses a large space to collect clothes, shoes, housewares, and books for our community thrift shop. These items are free to whoever needs them, open 6 days a week. In 2024, we served over 1,500 guests. We project serving 2,000 visitors and 150 students in 2025, strengthening the community engagement, economic vitality, and cultural tourism. Douglas, Arizona is in need of support. A stumbling economy, neglect, and current political climate have drained our historic city of spirit and growth. There is no youth center, no gathering place for our children, and no economic development in Douglas. Days on end, zero tourism coming downtown. Our museum's mission is to create safe havens and art opportunities for our children. With over 2,000 logged community service hours a year on average, the Last Supper Museum exists to serve, to elevate the hearts and minds of all in our beautiful, spiritual, and hardworking people at the border. Organization overview. The Last Supper Museum, situated in a 121-year-old, 13,355 square feet historic building in the heart of Douglas, Arizona, houses the world's largest collection of Last Supper inspired art with over 2,000 pieces from diverse artistic medium worldwide. Our mission is to provide an education and entertaining museum experience, offer arts, education supplies for youth, and support the less fortunate through meals, clothing, and outreach programs. In 2024, we received 2 grants from the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality to address lead, asbestos, and mold, enabling us to expand our facility safely. Project description. This grant will fund two key initiatives starting July 11, 2025. One, arts education events. Will host 3 Night at the Museums events. Touch tours available for our visually impaired special needs community. We aim to expand our arts education programs for youth in Douglas, a rural border community with limited access to cultural resources, coloring books and musical toys, free bottled water, and cold room beer. 2, facility addition. Room 2 final rejuvenation to house a 23 feet wide Last Supper life vice display. 700 square feet finishing touch for room 2. Gain organic press about the museum expansion, enhancing community pride and tourism through our one-of-a-kind museum. Budget total 10,000. Sustainability, the Last Supper Museum sustains operation through donations, grants, and visitor contributions. Recent grants from the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality demonstrate our ability to secure funding. We are working with grant writers and groups that help 501c3 nonprofit, specifically in Arizona. Conclusion, we respectfully request $10,000 from the city of Douglas to expand our arts education program, supplies, and facility addition at the Last Supper Museum. This investment will empower our border town, restore cultural heritage, and provide opportunities for youth. With the support of the city, the museum becomes a world-class destination that is a 6-day-a-week contribution to the city. We welcome the opportunity to discuss this proposal further. Thank you for your consideration or request. Sincerely, Mary.
Thank you for the update. Any other updates? If not, just very quickly, Mrs. Urquijo and I went to the Arizona-Mexico Commission. We were joined by Mr. A.V. Ayala, representing Coaches College. We were also joined by Miss Kathleen Gomez, who was representing the county. I will say that someone told us, I'm not gonna say who, that we had the best presentation, if you remember, on that, considering San Luis was also presenting and Nogales was presenting. So that was a very big boost for us. The Unity in the Community block party was a success. I didn't go. I'd like to apologize for that. I was still feeling ill from last time, and she's smiling because it was Mrs. Ida Pedrigo that told me, "Mijito, you look horrible." So I still felt bad during that time. The one thing I'm very grateful for is staff was saying, Jennifer Smith was saying that they were looking into what the community wants, you know, what we have in the block party, what we continue to be doing, and also asking our constituents what they'd like to see during these block parties. As you saw during for our Facebook post, the Valor Global is hiring 100 call center jobs. That has to do with our networking. So where we met this individual was at the AMC here in Douglas. It was at the Haven. We had a reception afterwards at the Gadsden at the Speakeasy. And then this one individual asked us, "Do you know a good restaurant?" And after that, we found out that she has her own foundation, same foundation that donated $150,000 for the Boys and Girls Club here in Douglas, and also had this call center company. So it's that networking that helps us branch out more with opportunities. And also Synergy Home Care. This came about with our sponsorship for Thunder Mountain Wrestling. So a few of the wrestlers from their work for Synergy Home Care, they love Douglas, and they said we basically asked the company to expand here. So they're hiring individuals for their company to take care of those who need the care in Douglas. So they're going to be local jobs. I also want to comment on Thunder Mountain Wrestling. This past time, Billy Gunn couldn't make it. They still had a great show. Around more than 200 people went. And one of the best ROIs, the return of investment in that, and Jennifer was there too. I didn't see her at the event, but she was there. At least 90% of the individuals that have gone have been from out of town. And we've talked to them. They said, "We love your town. We go to the Gadsden, we go eat." I mean, they basically, what we do in Sierra Vista, they come do in Douglas, and they spend their money here. They sightsee, so that's very much appreciated. Yesterday, Medicare Solutions Group and AZ Chow, we had they came to me to do it, but it was really their event. We talked to the seniors at the Coronado Courts. They had a picnic for them. One of the seniors even had a speaker in their little apartment. She asked us to bring it out. They had music. They started dancing, and they said, "Hey, why doesn't the city have more events for us?" So I talked to staff, maybe have a rec on the go over there, not only for the youth, but also for the seniors, for having something for them to do. But that event was very much appreciated. Like Mrs. Rodriguez said, kudos to staff on the 4th of July. All the messages I've received and she received, they're all positive. I think the biggest compliment for staff is that it looks like it felt different. They wanted to expand from last year, not just do the same thing every year. It was a different feel, so that's pretty much appreciated, very much appreciated. An impromptu meeting tomorrow with the Sonoran mayors. They're supposed to have it in Cananea. Cananea canceled. Then Agua Prieta said, "Can you have it?" We said, "When?" They said Thursday. This was on Monday, so we're having it here. We're inviting them, and just to give updates. I'm also thanking Supervisor Gomez. She initiated a meeting with Freeport-McMoRan this month, and is inviting me also. And I'd like to thank SBDC because I got an invitation to walk with Miriam all around and just talk to businesses. I think this is going to be the 15th for 2 hours. So I'm going to be walking around with her, asking businesses how we can help, what resources they need. So we'll be working together with SBDC. So those are the updates from my end. Now, item number 7, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Unlike the last 4 meetings that we have 2. Mrs. Aida and Pedrego.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and the people present. I just wanted to say, Mayor, I'm going to go off on what you just said. You addressed going out and all the different things that you're doing in the community. But I believe, and because you can see, a lot of the people that are here are city employees, but you don't have a lot of citizens here and I really believe that I wish some of the council people would go out and meet your constituents, talk with them and see what they need. I know my husband, who doesn't even speak, came to City Hall because of his concerns, but most people don't. And the only way you're going to learn what your constituents need in this community is if you go out to them, reach out to them. I really appreciate what you've been doing because in my business, I hear a lot about what's going on, whether it's rumor or not. But a lot of the community members wish that more of the council would do the same. Go out, reach out, ask, what do we need? Right now we're focusing a lot on the commercial port of entry and the other port of entry. But the thing is, there's other things going on in the community. And I know that Mrs. Urquijo and him, I'm sorry. Mr. Pedros, I'm sorry, Mr. Pedros, are busy and they have a lot on their plate. But there's so many other things that you can be working on. And he used the key word, networking. That's what it's going to take. Because there's a lot of things still. Nothing has happened with the revitalization of G Avenue. And again, I know, Ms. Urquijo, you have a lot on your plate, but still, I really encourage if the council and all council members, I know in my district, I sure would like to see you be more visible, be out there asking questions. What do we need? My area, ask me, we have a lot. So, but I'm not the only one, but I'm the one that will speak. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mrs. Pedrego. And if there's any updates, we'll have a city manager's update. Maybe we can update a bit on the revitalization of downtown if we have one, or maybe get to Mrs. Pedrego.
It's part of that, yes.
Thank you. Mrs. Diana Lamar.
Hello, good evening. Hello to council persons, staff, and Douglas residents. My name is Diana Lamar. I live in Douglas on 13th and F. And I second a lot of what Ida just said, so I'll throw that in. I wanted to read something that a Hispanic elder from Pinal County read at a February 5th meeting at Call to the Public, just as a way of introducing this type of dialogue and really in the hopes of mutual care in the days ahead. Mr. Chairman and members, I speak again in the spirit of truth, transparency, and accountability. We are living in a bizarre time and place where words and actions have lost their meaning, where respect for the rule of law depends on political affiliation and an unquenchable thirst for power. I want to emphasize that I clearly ally myself with speakers who have been to this call to public in support of their views being reflected in the zoning code. It's their right to exercise their freedom to speak in defense of a lifestyle of their choice, and I applaud members of this board respectfully trying to reflect the expressed will of your constituents. In that spirit, I urge my fellow Americans, regardless of politics, to speak out now as a nation, as our nation witnesses ongoing attempts at dismantling our constitutional republic's institutions of self-governance. Destroying trust in self-governance and replacing it with blind obedience to autocratic decrees dressed up as executive orders. We're witnessing a truly grotesque and surreal history unfolding before our eyes with, and I say this as respectfully as I can, with a convicted criminal sitting in the White House granting pardons to other convicts who violently attacked law officers defending our nation's capital, sitting behind a presidential desk, signing executive orders beyond his constitutional authority. This nightmare should wake us all up. As for myself, I refuse to participate in the further destruction of our American dream and will continue to resist during call to the public and other venues. I urge fellow Americans to join the resistance, continue to respect the rule of law, stand up for the democratic principles that have made our nation the beacon of light for all who seek freedom from authoritarian rule, either in Pinal County and throughout the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lamar. Item number 8, discussion decision on approval of consent agenda items. Item A, expenditures for the month of June 2025 totaling $3,141,657.87. Item B, meeting minutes for May 28th and June 11th, 2025. Item C, liquor license 006 for Balar Entertainment and Events. Item D, committee reappointments, Board of Adjustments, Susan Kramer. Merit System Board, Carlos Guido. Personnel Appeals Board, Joe Moran, Rebecca Castillo, and Ken Nelson. Planning and Zoning Board, Sheila Iram. Transportation Advisory Committee, John Vaughn, Marisa Nikitas, Jessica Aguayo, Zenia Gonzalez, and Gary Clark. Item E, authorizing the approval of the City of Douglas surplus vehicles, asphalt plant, equipment, and furniture list and use of the public surplus online auction forum. Item F, authorizing the execution of a license agreement for decorative light fixtures in the public right-of-way with Art Car World, an Arizona nonprofit corporation for city-owned right-of-way adjacent to licensee-owned parcels 409-07-027, 409-07-029, and 409-07-030 for purposes of beautification through decorative artistic lighting. Item G, resolution number 25-1673, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, designating the finance director, city treasurer, Alejandro Martinez as the city's chief fiscal officer for the purposes of officially submitting the fiscal year expenditure limitation report to the Arizona Auditor General. Item H, resolution number 25-1674, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the city manager to execute a renewal of the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Douglas and Cochise College to provide reliable passenger transportation services to college riders, combining resources to continue to promote educational opportunities and foster economic development in the city of Douglas. Item I, resolution number 25-1675, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, ratifying the execution of a service agreement renewal for SFY 26 between the city of Douglas and Southeastern Arizona Governments Organization, SEGO, in the amount of $35,540 to be used in the transit program to maintain services for the elderly and disabled individuals in the city of Douglas and surrounding community. Item J, resolution number 25-1676, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, approving the Community Developmental Block Grant, CDBG, Annual Action Plan Fiscal Year 2025 for the city of Douglas. Item K, resolution number 25-1677, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the execution of a contract between the city of Douglas and Nexus Consulting LLC, a bipartisan federal government relations firm providing professional services for the city of Douglas. Item L, resolution number 25-1678, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the city of Douglas to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Cochise County Community College District in extended partnership with the Southeast Arizona Law Enforcement Training Academy. I don't know if I sounded out. SEALETA. Item M, resolution number 25-1679, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, approving and adopting an infrastructure and services plan for the area proposed for annexation known as the southeastern portion of Sunnyside Fire District Area, SEP-SSFDA, as required by ARS 9-471P. Item N, resolution number 25-1680, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the city of Douglas to accept grant funding and enter into an agreement with the Southeastern Arizona Major Investigative Unit or Team SAMIT grant as administered by the city of Tucson Police Department as fiduciary for a reimbursable grant in the amount of $31,000 for overtime, travel, training, and investigative supplies under the High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Enforcement Program. And item O, resolution number 25-1681, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, accepting grant funding from the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority, WIFA, for the city of Douglas Reservoir and Geronimo Trail Pipeline Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $813,750 and authorizing the city manager to execute all necessary documents. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
Mayor,
Mrs. Acosta,
I make a motion to approve consent agenda items as listed.
do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mrs. Rodriguez. Any discussion? I'll say a quick word. I want to thank council for being okay with this. A lot of these things like the grants, we have employees wait until the end of the meeting for us to thank them. A lot of these items are non-controversial. If we have controversial items, ordinances, we don't bring them on the consent agenda items. If they're something for taxing purposes, we don't bring them on the consent agenda items. So if it's big picture, something controversial, it's up for discussion. They're all individual, but these, since they're very simple, grant funding, IGAs, I want to thank council for being okay with this. If there's no other discussion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Rodriguez?
Yes.
Councilmember Montaño?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Valesnegro?
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Acosta?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion passes. Item 9, discussion decision on approvals. 9A, second reading of ordinance number 25-1214, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the purchase of real property located at southeast corner of Cochise Community College, Douglas campus, property with assessor parcel number 407-61-013, approving the purchase and sale agreement with the Cochise County Community College District, authorizing the mayor and city manager to execute all necessary documents, establishing the severability of components of ordinance, and establishing an effective date thereof. Mr. Pedrosa.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. This is the second reading of this purchase agreement of approximately 3.4 acre portion of existing Cochise College Douglas campus property. And the use is proposed for the construction of a new water well system to be utilized for the new commercial port of entry, the college campus, and surrounding area and new development. Part of the city and county's master plan for the west expansion utilities projects that would serve the new commercial port of entry includes the construction of a new well site at or near Cochise College Douglas campus. I think city council already approved the design of the well and currently progressing very quickly. By securing this parcel, we can move forward with the survey and design of the entire site and also preparing for drilling the well. Want to actually update that the survey is complete at this point. The college is in agreement to become a city customer, and as part of this purchase agreement, providing the portion of land to the city in consideration of the city incurring costs to build a new water system and furnish water to this college, as well as sewer in the future within 10 years, according to the agreement. It also states that impact fees are covered by the consideration of the land acquisition. The well site will be located on the southeast corner of the Cochise College campus, about 50 feet west of the service road. Agreement also calls for access agreements and easements to be agreed upon as part of the servicing the well site by city staff. City will also seek an IGA with the college at a later time to use their existing well for backup of this new well site. The city will pay for the piping associated with the connection of the well sites, and college will be responsible for the piping that would furnish water from the city well site to the college facilities. College is excited to be connected to city water and potentially sewer in the future. This purchase agreement is a critical part of the West Expansion Utilities Project that would enable economic development in the area as the new commercial POE construction comes to fruition in 2028. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pedrosa. May I have a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 25-1214?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Shelton,
I move the mayor and council approve the second reading of ordinance number 25-1214 by number and title only.
do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mr. Montaño. Any discussion? No discussion. Thank you again, staff.
Okay,
Mr. Shelton.
I do have one question. I know that, they're doing a lot of irrigating with the alfalfa for the cattle that's right behind them. Are we guaranteed that this is gonna work?
Mr. Mayor,
Right.
Mr. Shelton.
No, the water
Good question.
Yeah.
Yes. Part of the exploratory process of digging the well site is you have to find out. But the engineers have done some preliminary work already. There are a number of high producing wells around the area. We will be, our plan is to go about at least, or probably at most 1,000 feet, but depending on where the water table is at, water quality, the engineers will analyze all of that and make the best determination. We also have to do an impact analysis around us to ensure that we're not adversely or whatever impacts that the well drill will cause. We need to report that to ADWR as part of our process.
No problem with the AMF or whatever.
Oh, Mr. Shelton, we will, that's part of the process. And that's why we drill a pilot hole first, and then we drill the real well site. The pilot hole will allow us to take samples and see what kind of water quality we're dealing with. So it's, yeah, we need to find out what's down there.
Okay.
Mayor, I do have a question. What is the time frame for this project? Once, this is approved and the purchase of the land is completed for the well to be constructed?
Councilmember Acosta, so overall West Expansion Utilities Project, our target date is May of 2027. The different facets of the project is extending utilities, building a well site, building a reservoir tank, building booster pumps. It's depends on different funding sources. It depends on how quickly we can get contractors, but the overall timeline to deliver water to the port of entry is May 2027.
Okay, thank you. That is a pretty long timeline, but in reality, for a project like this, it probably isn't. But thank you. I mean, without water, we can't expand, and if we want Douglas to grow, then we need to do these things. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions? Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Rodriguez? Yes. Councilmember Montaño?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro?
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Acosta?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion passes. Item B, first reading of ordinance number 25-1215, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, extending and increasing the corporate limits of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, state of Arizona, pursuant to the provisions of Title IX, Chapter 4, Article 7, Arizona revised statutes and amendments thereto by annexing certain territory contiguous to the existing city of Douglas limits, consisting of 89.05 acres, more or less, and located in the known area as the southeastern portion of Sunnyside Fire District area annexation, and adopting initial zoning of SFR 32 for said territory, establishing severability of components of ordinance, and establishing an effective date thereof. Mr. Pedrosa?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. This ordinance annexes the territory contiguous to the city of Douglas, currently within Cochise County and known as the southeast portion of Sunnyside Fire District area, or SEPSSFDA, long acronym there. Don't know if if it rolls off the tongue real easily. This action is part of the city's long-term strategic annexation plan and complies with all provision of ARS 9-471. The annexation petition was signed by the required number of property owners and meets the statutory property value threshold for annexation. As background, on January 21, 2025, the city of Douglas initiated the annexation petition with Cochise County in accordance with ARS. The petition included a legal description of the proposed annexation area, an accurate map of the area, signatures from more than 50% of property owners. Specifically, we obtained 58% of property owner signatures, and 50% of the assessed property value, which we obtained 68.5% with the signatures obtained. So more than the required threshold. Signatures collection data for this annexation total I already mentioned that. The territory is directly contiguous to the existing city limit and lies within the city's planning area. This ordinance presented for council adoption formally extends the city's corporate boundaries to include this area. All procedural steps, including verification of signatures and filing with the Cochise County Recorder, are complete. As a reminder, successful annexation will result in an increase in the city's assessed valuation, population count, and allocation of state share revenues, including other grants as well. Also, the city's obligation to service the area, which include water, sewer, and sanitation or garbage pickup. Those are our tasks also outlined in the plan that was approved earlier in the consent agenda. Currently, they are served by water. Those rates will now come down to city incorporated limit rates. The intent is to service them, is to install sewer within those areas, which has been allocated in the fiscal year 26 budget that was just approved. And garbage has already been planned out. That can be very easily rolled out. Just some other dates that we did. The final signed petition was on June 2nd. The county assessor's approval came on June 18th, and the Board of Supervisors acknowledged on June 27th. With that, Mayor, happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pedrosa. May I have a motion to approve the placement of ordinance 25-1215?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Shelton?
I move the mayor and council approve the placement of ordinance number 25-1215 on its first reading by number and title only.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mrs. Acosta. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Rodriguez. Yes. Councilmember Montaño.
Yes.
Councilmember Schultz.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Member Acosta.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Acosta.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I just want to acknowledge staff that worked really hard on this annexation, and that's our annexation assistant, Yamilet. It's a lot of work, talking to the owners and informing and following a very meticulous process, but she was the lead there in doing that. And she's also learning this whole process, so I do want to acknowledge her and all the support staff, our attorneys, obviously, Xenia, as well as head of the department and all the support from city management. So just want to congratulate staff on the hard work here. But I know we got another reading to go, but I just want to, for that, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pedrosa. May I have a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 25-1215?
Mayor,
Mrs. Acosta.
I move that mayor and council.
Oh, she has to read it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, extending and increasing the corporate limits of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, state of Arizona, pursuant to the provisions of Title 9, Chapter 4, Article 7, Arizona Revised Statutes and Amendments thereto, by annexing certain territory contiguous to the existing city of Douglas limits, consisting of 89.5 acres, more or less, and located in the known area as the southeastern portion of Sunnyside Fire District area annexation, and adopting initial zoning of SFR 32 for said territory, establishing severability of components of ordinance, and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. Now, may I have a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 25-1215?
Mayor,
Mrs. Acosta.
I move that mayor and council approve the first reading of ordinance number 25-1215 and to place it on its second reading by number and title only.
Do I have a second? Motion by Mrs. Acosta, second by Mrs. Rodriguez. Any discussion?
Mayor,
Mrs. Acosta.
I would just like to follow up Mr. Pedrosa's statement and that, you know, this is a lot of clerical work, a lot of hard work, focus and determination. And thank you so much to our staff for that, because it can be daunting. But you guys have made it look easy. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Acosta. And just to add on to that, I'm usually here every now and then during the week. And I was witness when Ms. Cuevas would, Yamilet would get calls. Sometimes they were good calls. Hey, come, get the signature. Other calls were, we don't want to be part of the city of Douglas. And she took that in great stride. And it was your first chance. You helped us grow in population. So, that you already helped us with the census. That's a great job. We're very proud of you. And now on to the next, to the next one. So we know you'll do a great job. Thank you. If there's no other discussion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Rodriguez. Yes. Councilmember Montaño.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Valdenegro.
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tempore Acosta.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, motion passes.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, extending and increasing the corporate limits of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, state of Arizona, pursuant to the provisions of Title 9, Chapter 4, Article 7, Arizona Revised Statutes and Amendments thereto, by annexing certain territory contiguous to the existing city of Douglas limits, consisting of 89.05 acres, more or less, and located in the known area as the southeastern portion of Sunnyside Fire District area, annexation and adopting initial zoning of SFR 32 for said territory, establishing several components of ordinance and establishing an effective date thereof.
Thank you. Item 10, presentation, discussion, decision on approvals. Item 8, park maintenance operations presentation. Ms. Smith?
Good evening, Mayor, Council staff, and members of the public. The purpose of tonight's presentation is to provide a high-level overview of our Parks Division, starting with our key maintenance coverage. Mayor, do you mind if we get the light over the overhead? Not you. We can take care of it. I'm just asking if you're okay with that. Sorry.
What else do you need? What else?
We'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. but we'll get into our parks maintenance coverage. So our parks team oversees a diverse portfolio of public spaces across the community. So this includes our 12 parks, including our community parks. Your community parks are like your Airport Park, Veterans Memorial Park, Raul Castro Park, and Joe Casi Park. These are your neighborhood parks, like what we call our 17th Street Park or Pizza Hut Park. Spear Park is another classified neighborhood park. Our Pocket Park is something like you would see like the Placita Park downtown. Placita del Sol is its official name. And special use parks are typically like something you would call like your skate park. This includes 14 athletic fields. These are your baseball, softball, multi-use facilities. And just keep in mind, this 14 number does not include our tennis courts or pickleball courts, volleyball courts, and basketball courts. And I'll kind of explain that in the slides as we continue. We oversee or help with some facility grounds. That's about 14 facilities. This includes City Hall, Douglas Williams Home, the Art Gallery, Visitor Center, Police, Aquatic Center, Library, Fire, Animal Shelter, and the Call Center. Half of this list that you see here is into some of our daily and weekly routines. But keep in mind, some of these, like the animal shelter, the visitor center, library, are more periodically or an as-needed basis. We also have 5+ events throughout the year. These are special, and these are not recreation total list of special events. These are what our parks and staff are assigned to help with, like Douglas Days is a perfect example. That's a heavy lift. 4th of July, Mexican Baseball Fiesta, Movies in the Park. These are where we have staff that take a little heavy lift on the either setup, park preparations, or any type of support that we need. Increasing events like one of the downtown events like the Energize Douglas, a really good downtown event. This includes mobilization of picnic tables, trash cans, light generators. We're seeing lots of sports tournaments coming through baseball, softball, fundraiser type tournaments, and again, like Mexican Baseball Fiesta. So those can vary throughout the year. Our parks team structure, and I want to recognize our park supervisor here, Johnny Chavez. He's part of the core team of 8 full-time staff that we have year-round. This is seven full-time staff on top of the supervisor, which includes 8 that play a vital role. Through our partnership, we also have access to 5 trustees. That's what we call our inmates on average, and they help maximize our parks coverage in all the areas that we oversee. We also have 2 part-timers. That's what we call our weekend duty. These are your staff that are, as kind of explained, the weekend duty staff. They open the restrooms, they clean restrooms, make sure parks are in working order for the weekend, and prepare any of the grounds that are needed for an event or something that doesn't require our full-time staff. Our full-time staff is also certified in herbicide and pesticide management. So I want to take you through some of our key maintenance processes. And I kind of, the way I structured the presentation is to kind of talk like daily, weekly, and then monthly and seasonal. So your daily tasks are your routine responsibilities that are carried out every day to maintain the park and everything that's needed for the park to open right in the morning. So these are what I call like typically your religious things that happen every single day, no matter what. They start with the morning briefing. Our home base is at the cemetery. Then staff is released to unlock the restrooms at all the parks. And this is for the early morning walkers. Restrooms are clean and sanitized. Trash is picked up and areas are inspected from the entire facilities that they oversee from the inside out. And then daily tasks are planned accordingly. Dragging and prepping ball fields, and adjusting, repairing any sprinklers. And again, these are kind of almost without a doubt every single day. Then you build off on that. So add into your weekly routines on top of your daily tasks. Your weekly routines are typically something that's once needed at least once a week. Again, building off of your daily tasks, you have mowing ball fields and parks. Right now it's at the highest demand. It's about, I think, 3 times a day at the minimum for our parks and fields. Trimming, weeding, inspecting, and sanitize playgrounds. That's typically done like on a Friday ahead of the weekend. Washing courts, typically that's once a week, but sometimes we get requests from the public, especially if they have some high use. Ramada spray down, getting them ready for the weekend, grill cleaning, any type of graffiti that we see. Typically, we are looking at more of this, the graffiti, and we work directly with Public Works Police, to take care of that. Then building off of your monthly and seasonal routines. So these are activities that are once, twice a month, or specified seasons. Again, your daily routine, weekly routine, and then the seasons. So the seasons are what we go throughout the year, and I kind of split it up into what we call spring, summer, fall, winter, and winter. And the reason I did that is because sometimes these things overlap, and depending on our weather. So in spring, typically this is going to be your baseball, softball season, especially for the youth. This is the preparation of getting ball fields ready after the dormant season of your grass, spraying herbicide, dethatching grass, edging infields, nail dragging of infields, any type of fence repairs. This is pretty much now we're seeing an ongoing fence repairs that we need. In spring and summertime, this is a continuation of your baseball and starting, I think you start like football, and I believe soccer had a spring season this year as well. So it's preparing the parks for the spring and summer, and that's when you really start to see the greenery in the park and the trees and lots of activities in our parks. The splash pad comes back in service, and that's typically around Easter weekend. We have dethatching, aerating, fertilizing, again, spraying herbicide ahead of the monsoon season, mowing, special event prep and work. This is typically Douglas Days, 4th of July stuff that you kind of been observing that's been ongoing right now. Same overlap into fall and summer, preparing. At this point, we're preparing for continuation of some of the sports leagues, football, all-stars for baseball and softball, and going into your soccer season. So this is field leveling goals and field setup. Right now, we're working with AYSO on the upcoming season for field improvements. And then fall and winter, you have the areas that continue to have maintenance on grass because they have the rye grass. This is dethatching city facilities, the island on Pan American, Veterans Memorial, Visitor Center, the police station, City Hall, Placita Park, and Raul Castro Park. I think that was all of them. And then we go into winter. So here is where I wouldn't call it our downtime, because this is where we really try to focus on anything that we weren't able to do during the times, the seasons above. We look at major tree pruning, inspecting lighting and Ramada facilities. And this is where sometimes we would partner with Public Works to help us for something that's beyond what our staff can do. Deep cleaning restrooms, painting high traffic areas. If you observed the 4th of July, you probably saw some of the sprucing up of the restrooms, painting the floor, any type of the repairs. We washed the F-16 that's at Veterans Memorial Park. That's a coordinated effort as well. Reseeding any ryegrass, and some of our facilities in the fall winter season. We weather the splash pad, so we basically turn it off, and not sure what other type of weathering we do for the splash pad, and any type of safety audits and inventory audits that we need to do, and anything else that was deferred. Some other considerations affecting key maintenance. I just think that this helps paint the whole picture of like what we do. Sometimes there's special projects. One example was a city landscaping project. We went from a xeriscape in front of the back, and then our parks department helped with installing new sod, trees, and now this is on each side, I think with the exception of the east side of City Hall. So you have grass and landscaping in all three sides of City Hall. So that's something that took us lots of effort, and kind of on top of everything I've explained in our daily, weekly, and seasonal routines as we focus on items like this. Another one, and you probably wouldn't know, you've probably seen them in our Friday updates, is new irrigation at the Korean Memorial Playground. So this is right in front of the street side. It's kind of bare. So our Parks Department spent a couple weeks trenching and putting some irrigation out there. So that's what that's going to do in time is it's going to dress up that area. And then as we get signage and stuff, it's going to really dress up the frontage of the playground at Veterans Memorial Park. There's a lot of major line repairs. We've been seeing a lot more of those line breaks now, mostly in irrigation. So that's something that kind of stalls what we do, and then we focus and we get a crew that kind of needs to take care of that, depending on where it gets classified as an emergency. And then restroom, floor, paint, and walls. This is something that we periodically do annually to all our restrooms, and I'll explain later on. We have some of the improvement projects coming up. Oftentimes, we have, with our partnerships with DOC, we have our trustees, again, what we call our inmates, and depending on their availability in COVID, we had them on the restrictions where we had no inmates. So that presented a challenge, but just as always, we work through any challenges that we come across. But now we have access to 5 to 10, with 5 being the average that we get out from DOC. Staffing levels, we have had in the past some staff go on medical leave and not come back, and so we hire in those positions. But I think the majority of the core staff right now are staff that has been here for 3 to 4 more years or more, with one new staff starting more recently. Some special event or equipment transport, sometimes through sponsorships, we have staff take either picnic tables, light generators, and those very major repairs needed with hands on deck. Sports seasons are now, it's a good problem to have. They're extending now. They're no longer, this season is AYSO, this season is baseball and softball. It's like they continue to go on, and that's a great thing. So that's why the parks master plan helps identify, yes, the growth. And so we're working on what that looks like, the next steps to kind of expand that. And then again, new events. So new events where we need staffing. Again, mentoring master plan improvements. We did some irrigation improvements, plus these Placita Park restroom renovation. This is one project that we identified that our staff, within their abilities, was able to kind of spruce up, paint the epoxy floors. And this is just epoxy paint. It's not the true epoxy that we would need for the restrooms. Paint the walls, replace any type of toilet or anything that needs to. So if you haven't been there lately, you'll see a different color scheme in that restroom. I think that was done like maybe 1.5 to 2 years ago. Any deferred maintenance, we're starting to focus on those areas, like the field. AYSO uses our airport field. And so last year we were able to put some improvements to that field and kind of level that, and it's a continued part of our process. Airport park lighting, the path itself was resurfaced, and lighting was added to that as well. Airport park fitness machines and park placements. This was a small project that our parks took care of. There was a lot of missing components, and they replaced that. That was a couple months ago. Raul Castro Park through CDBG, we have shading and sidewalks now. And if you went to Douglas Days, or if you periodically go to our parks, you would see those type of improvements. H3 Pool was renovated. Field leveling again at Airport Park, lighting improvements in different areas. We had the National Fitness Court and landscaping project, and that was a grant as well. Emergency needs and repairs. And so upcoming next, what you can expect is our restroom improvement project. Right now, we're working on what type of scope of work that's going to look like and what our parks master plan money can take. Obviously, it would be nice to have all new restrooms all around, but with the money we have, we identify the priority in restrooms, coming up with the scope of work. Some of those restrooms that you can expect is the Joe Cassi Park between the Little League and the softball field. That is probably one of the higher priorities to renovate. Field expansion master plan. I believe that got some funding to come up with a plan for rendering on what the expansion east of airport. We have land over there, and that would help us facilitate fields or soccer fields, baseball fields. And so I'm excited to get that going. Playground repairs are upgrades, continuing. One of our most used playgrounds is the Veterans Memorial Park. And so just this last weekend, we heard from some community members that there's some maintenance that needs to go. So Parks is working on a plan for repairs and some of them might still be under warranty. So we'll have an update on that soon. And then Spear Park basketball court upgrades with the Parks Master Plan. This is something that you can expect to be done in this next fiscal year. And with that, that is the presentation. I'll entertain any questions, comments, or anything that you have.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any comments, questions? Mrs. Rodriguez?
Thank you for formative, a lot of things that, I didn't know, and I'm sure so many people didn't know that involved in the, of our parks and recreation. So I think you kind of touched point on some of the things that you guys now acknowledge that, we don't do seasonal sports, it's more a year-round mentality, so I appreciate that. With that being said, I did notice on your timeline there, in terms of, and I'm talking about baseball, softball fields, things like that. So we can't afford to start in the spring with prepping those fields because the season has already started. So it's a huge concern. It's the safety of our kids on those fields. I'm not just talking about the grass area. That time of year is a lot of stickers, a lot of dry grass. But also the field leveling, just like you mentioned. Our pitchers now are very concerned. Then they will before the big thing is the pitchers now are concerned. Regarding the safety guidelines that go with that. So I just ask that the prepping happen a lot sooner than the spring. Because usually by their late January or early February, have kids out there already practicing fields. And not just that, like you mentioned, you have year round that they all year and the fields are being used all year long.
Did you hear me?
I got everything you said.
So I just encourage that this happens sooner. I'm after talking to Mrs. Urquijo. I know only certain areas have seeding happening, but maybe we can see a lot more of that happening. I know there's one field in particular that is up and ready to go in the spring. And it kind of looks bad that one field is getting the attention and not the rest. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you, Mayor and Mrs. Rodriguez. Mrs. Urquijo also shared those comments and we were kind of talking through like a timeline of either starting fields earlier. I briefly before the meeting, Johnny and I were kind of talking through that as well and kind of assessing, okay, you have your grass that goes dormant. You also have the option to put ryegrass, which can also be challenges, especially if there's water, it's increased maintenance, but the city is also exploring some effluent use of water. And I think that can help in so many other areas and reusing that water. That's a great opportunity. And I love to continue to facilitate meetings with the league because I do talk to, especially ahead of every single season, we talk to the president kind of like, what are your priority items? And we work to plan those through. The mounds is not something that I recall, but it's something that's very important and something that that we'll make sure that we follow up with the league to see what that looks like. Because I mean, we set the field and as a pitcher, those are the specs that you need, but we won't realize that if we don't get that feedback. So we can explore all these thoughts and again, city manager and I have been having those conversations and Johnny. So we'll take a look at that.
Thank you.
Father Negro.
We looking into the future about maybe constructing one, maybe looking at church, infield,
Well, Mayor, Councilmember Baldenegro, that's been kind of the effluent discussion talk. I don't know the technicalities of exactly how that is, other than recycling our water use. But I'm happy that we're exploring that already. Turf has been something that this community has asked for. So we've looked at prices in the past. And depending on what that's for, some people are for that turf, and some people like the natural turf, artificial turf, and some people like the natural turf. So we can look at that again and see what type of funding we can find for that. Mayor, Council President Negro, I'll have to follow up with you on that just to see where we're at. I think initially it was a funding, but a very small dollar amount. It didn't even pay for the fencing, but there's also some grant funding, and we were that top maybe 10 in the running for a national grant that would help us. And so we'll have to follow up on that and get back to you. Ramadas, with the exclusion of the Ramada that is in the main area, where it's just the one that's on the section where we do the main area, but every other Ramada is able to be rented.
Any other questions, comments?
Mayor, I do have.
Go ahead, Circles and then Ms. Wu.
Okay, thank you. Did the master plan for the parks detail how many employees we need to like sustain all of the maintenance and things going on in the community?
Mayor, Council, Mayor Pro Tem Acosta, it gave us a formula and what the national parks recommends. And it basically identifies, I guess, you're going to need more staff, especially as you expand. So where we were in, I guess, before the recession hit in 2009, we had about the same amount of staff. There's also some efficiencies that we've come across. There's things that we've done different. We've also added amenities, like D-Backs Field is one. I don't know what date the airport park or what year it came out online, but there's a lot more things that we're overseeing, and we manage with what we have. Partnership with DOC is helpful. Cross collaboration with Public Works is helpful, but we continue to work through the budget process to see where those priorities are. Within my area, I think it was the last or prior budget season, like cemetery is also one of those other areas and high critical areas, and we added a staff in that area as well. So we continue to see where the priority is, and then as we continue to expand and grow, we're definitely going to need to have a lot more staff in our area.
Based on that formula, were we well-staffed or were we understaffed?
It was giving us like the mark, and I'll have to double check and get back to you, but it was about 20 staff.
Okay, so we're way understaffed.
Yeah, it gives you about how many hours per FTE, and I'll confirm, but an initial like amount, and it was based on what we have information of all our acreage. And so the acreage was it's referenced in our part, I think it's like 233.
Okay, yeah, okay. No, I mean, no need for like all the technicalities. I was just wondering, like, it sounds like there is a lot more, like Councilmember Rodriguez said, you know, there's a lot more to this park maintenance than I ever knew also. And then the only other thing I wanted to ask about was employee observations. Like, are you guys keeping track of what these needs are, of like things that are being damaged, of things that will need replacement, and you know, stuff like that?
So a good opportunity and reference in the Parks Master Plan is a lot of our processes are like done by paper. Everything's tracked by writing it down. And so we're looking at a software that's going to help us manage that. And then it'll allow you as council members to be able to see like where resources are allocated, what's done. If there's something that comes as in form of a complaint or a concern, that's documented. Right now, it's fully like on paper. Yes, we use email, but that's something that I'm looking to upgrade for the area.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I just have a comment. I just want to thank Johnny and all his crews because they are busting their butts all over town. So I don't know if you guys know, all of you, but I work for the Border Patrol, and agents come in and out. They're here a few years and they're out. And one of the the things that got most of the compliments was the upkeep of the parks. So after going through this presentation, I commend Johnny and all his crew and even the trustees that help out, because I think that they do wonders. And if there's something we can do, maybe add more trustees. I know employees are hard to come by with the budgets, but trustees might be a little bit of help. And then another comment, now that we're on the parks, I just wanted to congratulate all the Little League teams that made a great showing in the district tournament. I know there's at least one that's still going. So I just two teams that are still going. So congratulations to them. And that's kind of part that we want to fix this so that, because they are playing year round. So thank you guys.
Mayor and Mr. Montañez, thanks for that recognition. I'll make sure that they know. I think the feedback for them is critical. They were wondering about the presentation. I was like, it's basically showing exactly what you guys do. And then on your comment on our trustees, through budget, you guys approved an increase to $1, and they're super excited for our trustees that we have. They're going from 50 cents to $1. And again, I know through our staff and through me, they're excited for that increase to happen. They're hoping to happen it soon, and you'll probably see an agenda item for an IGA amendment to DOC to increase that fee from 50 cents to $1. Thank you.
Mayor, I would just like to add just a couple of points on the efficiency. So I echo the recognition for Johnny and his staff. They sure do an awful lot for the size of the team they have. And you can see the beauty in many of our parks, especially those that do have RIE. But the effluent, I think, is a long-term project, but it's getting close, very close to having hopefully a funding plan and some grant solicitations to move us forward in the next couple of years. And that's the closest we've been to be able to bring an option to lay pipe for our parks and our golf course. It'll be a huge, huge feat for us, but also our SCADA program. So our SCADA investment, although it's primarily for water efficiencies, it will have the capacity to add modules for irrigation and for lighting, and another efficiency for staff to not have to spread themselves so thin that it could all become automated as well. So I just wanted to throw those things in as efficiencies.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? About the name.
Have you looked into Tyler playground? I know there's areas part.
Mayor and Councilmember Baldenegro, we can certainly look at that. Your standard playgrounds are typically 5 to 12. Obviously, you have a lot younger ones using it and a lot older children using it. Sometimes you'll see parents as well on there. So we can look at that to see. I know in some of the communities I've seen, they have a separation between like 5 and 12 and those that are younger. So we can take a look at that. Thank you.
Mayor, one more since
Very good.
Mr. Baldenegro opened or sparked something. So just to add on there too, upgrading our splash pad would be amazing. I know Benson just got a new one and it's pretty awesome. So that might be something we can look for the future.
Thank you.
Question? Just-
I'll just
Here
make
we
a
go.
comment.
Here we go.
Well, and she opened it up, but remember the surf park that we saw at so there's a lot of options out there. I mean, I'm not saying surf park, but there's a lot of things that can be expanded on with the splash pad.
And just to be unique, sort of
Yeah.
fair point. Nobody else does it. If we have something that's unique, people are gonna say, we gotta go to Douglas to do that.
To go try it out. Exactly.
All good suggestions. No, I also want to echo the thoughts, because I think a lot of the times our constituents think, well, just our staff, they go and turn on the sprinklers or they get a hose and just water. It's more than that. So we need to really show appreciation to them. And then you mentioned, Ms. Smith, that, we fixed up the bathrooms. And I think, not to make it into a big deal, but let's announce it. Because a lot of the times when people go in there once and it's not in good condition, they're not gonna go in there again and say, I don't wanna see, how it is. If we announce it, not only does it, have people wanna go in there and use it when they're walking around, but also it boosts the morale, saying the city's fixing up their parks, fixing up their restrooms. and to sort of show off the work that our employees do too. So if we could do that, that'd be much appreciated. Any other comments or questions before we move on to item 11? No, thank you, Ms. Smith. Item 11, city manager reports. Mrs. Urquijo?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to you as a governing board. We have kudos, and I constantly respect and recognize our own team because of all of the tall lifts. But they're also, the budget approval today is just a show also of the confidence and support we have by our governing body, who leads with great vision and makes the work that much more rewarding when we also in our own community are able to move so many of these projects forward. So thank you as well to a great mayor and council. We do have, for the past 2 or 3 months, try to really make an effort in my report to do policy priority updates on your vision. And the two-port solution is moving forward. I'll start with that. We are working on finalizing a start date in early September. Crews will be out there sooner than that just to kind of prep their work areas, but we're going to be requesting formally from GSA permission to sponsor a groundbreaking ceremony. So we'll be providing more of that to our stakeholders and our leadership here very soon. But that's a huge milestone that we've been working on for so many years, and past administrations included. Also, the downtown streetscape design, although from our merchant lens, you're right, there is nothing happening, but for us behind the scenes, the engineering has not stopped, and the concept design and everything. So we have just commented back in the last 10 days, staff and internal engineering review comments to the engineering consultant on the 90%. And the next step that comes back to us gets us that much closer to stick to our timeline to bid out the project in the fall. And that's what we plan to do. Once we bid the project, then we go to bid award back to mayor and council to award that, and able to schedule construction usually within 30 days is the typical of that. So from this point forward, especially once we publish that bid, we'll have to really work with the 3 blocks on the merchant side to make sure that we communicate any disturbances and schedules and how that's going to impact the places of business. So we'll keep an open communication with all of you. Also, as part of the downtown revitalization efforts, we are seeking qualified individuals to serve on the Historic Preservation Commission Board. We are seeking experience in architecture, history, urban planning, real estate, or related fields as required under the credentialing program that we're pursuing as a certified local government. Any interest can be referred to my office. In partnership with SBDC, join us on July 15th at 11 a.m. here in the council chambers for a seminar on how to attract more clients online with a Google business profile. The seminar is free and open to the public. Also, as a news update in May, the USDA temporarily halted all U.S. cattle crossings due to the New World screwworm fly and its impact on cattle. Last week, the USDA announced again a phased reopening of southern ports, beginning with Douglas, which was great news for our region. Each port will be evaluated individually before additional reopening. On the asphalt plant, also good news. It is ready to be shipped to us at the end of the month on 7/31. We are working on dismantling the old plan for public sale, which was approved earlier as part of our consent agenda items. And we will be doing site preparation upon completion of that to extend utilities and construct a concrete pad for the new plan. The new well 18 pilot hole has been completed. That's the new well going up at Joe Causey Park where the water tanks are. You've probably noticed a huge rig and construction equipment there. It was completed to 1,030 feet below the surface of the ground. This is the deepest well in Douglas. Zonal water quality testing has now begun to determine the best production and water quality zone for the aquifer. This is planned to complete in the summer of '26. Also, this past Friday, thousands of residents came together to celebrate Independence Day. The day kicked off with a patriotic parade followed by festivities at Veterans Memorial Park, and the night ended with a spectacular 4th of July fireworks show. I also wanted to personally thank our city departments, as was shared by the mayor and Councilmember Rodriguez, all of the departments that made the celebration possible. Another example of the great teamwork by our city crews. Also, we provided at the dais some flyers for Transit Day. It will be held on July 22nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Transit Administration Office at 815 9th Street. We will have snacks and giveaways, and come on by to see how our transit operation functions. This last weekend, the DHS class of 1975 sends their thank yous to all of city staff who helped in making their experience a great one. The transit office provided their transportation for a tour on the 5th, and the Douglas Air Museum hosted them for a tour as well. Mr. Javier Fimbres, one of the organizers and participant of the 50th year reunion, said that many positive comments about Douglas were received by all participants, many of them planning to return to visit again. I'd like to also make an announcement that I've made a conditional job offer to a new golf superintendent. We are under a background process, but I hope at the next meeting to be able to present that new employee to you. We have also today received a complete packet under our community funding program from the Douglas Food Bank. So it will be reviewed for all program requirements and hopefully move forward to an upcoming agenda. And they did provide today a certificate of insurance, which I believe was one of the major things pending. We will also send Last Supper Museum our community funding program request application for submittal and review per the recent letter to mayor and council, as was heard here today. And I will keep you posted on how that packet moves along and when it is submitted. And I mentioned our efficiencies. I think the other thing I just wanted to mention is we have a few thoughts to bring forward on more water conservation aside from our effluent. So we'll be planning some of that. And the question on Animal Park, I remember who asked, but one of the sites that are being considered is expansion near our animal shelter. So we'll provide some of that as we get more of the feasibility prepared for that. So with that, that concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Steeple. Item 12, future agenda item request from mayor and council. Do we have any?
Mayor, I don't know that it's a future agenda item, but I did want to speak on Ms. Urquijo's report, and just I'd like to acknowledge your support and your quick advocacy response for by sending the letters to different representatives on the urgency of the cattle importing operations here in Douglas. It greatly affects the local and regional economy, so I do appreciate that, and it's great news that Douglas is going to be the first port to open that operation up. So thank you. I give credit to you for that. Thank you.
Oh, it's a team thing. I'm just the necio that's in the front, but it's a
Well,
team
thank
thing.
you for being necio.
And then thank you for all the staff for everything. We're only as good as our staff, so we appreciate it.
That's right.
Item number 13, adjournment.
I have something, sorry, Mayor. So I know it's been done in the past, and thanks for the reminder, Mr. Montaño, about the Little League. So they're still going on. We have two teams. One starting the state tournament on Friday. And our seniors team is doing an amazing job. They're in the state tournament right now in Nogales. They're undefeated. Hopefully if that continues, they'll be region bound. So by the next city council meeting, I think they might be available for some recognition. So we can add that to the next agenda. That'd be great.
Very cool. What team age bracket?
So we have our majors division, which is our 10 to 12-year-olds. And they start their state tournament this Friday. And then our seniors division is their 15 and 16-year-olds.
Thank you.
Best of luck, Tony.
Thank you.
I'd like to add some. Okay, I go to the First Baptist Church. And once again, we do not sponsor this. But the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts meet there on Monday night is the younger ones. And of course, anybody's invited. I don't even know of any kids from our church even go to it. But that's another thing here in Douglas that not only now boys, but girls can go to. So the Cub Scouts are Monday night, there's around 20 of them attending. And then Tuesday night, there's about 6 or 7 of the older ones attending. And my son, he was an all-state football player, an all-state wrestler, and captain of the college football team. He said, Dad, you did a lot. We went all these things, doing all these things. He says, I really wanted to be a Boy Scout. So he's not even a member of our church, but anybody is invited, the younger ones on Monday night, and then the older ones on Tuesday night for scouting. So that's one of the historical things that this country at one time really cherished. So if you have any kids out there, grandkids, contact me and I'll get you in contact with who sponsors them. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps.
Oh, one other thing. That I have gotten a lot of really good reports on this summer and swimming. All the kids that have been going swimming over there. You know, and you know, a lot of people, there's nothing to do for the kids. If you go out and you can look what the city does and probably other churches, other organizations, you can get them into something that's positive, and you just got to look around. That's all you got to do. So thank you. And
Thank you, Mr. Shelton. And to add to that, if it's okay for a future agenda item, maybe bring in the stats on the swimming, who goes swimming, how many. So then we could sort of build up that program, because I heard a lot of good things about it.
Sure.
Thank you. Item 13, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor.
Right at the same second.
Pick
I'll go
rock,
with-
scissors.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Mayor, I move to adjourn.
do you have a second?
Second.
I'll go this side, Mrs. Acosta. Motion by Mrs. Rodriguez, second by Mrs. Acosta. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. We adjourn at 7:30.
Have a good evening, Dennis. Thank
Have a
you.
nice
Have a
evening.
good night.